Welcome back to Primetime News and a special welcome once again to our viewers on onespotmedia.com. Up first, this evening, the new COVID-19 measures have officially taken effect. The revised curfew hours began a few moments ago at 7 p.m. and will end at 5 a.m. Now, a lot depends on these measures as the government seeks to contain the spread of the virus. Our reporter, Javon Keys, is now live on location in Halfway Tree to give us an idea of what's taking place in the streets of Kingston and St. Andrew.
Thank you so much, Janella. So our news team got to Halfway Tree, St. Andrew at about 5:45. It took us roughly 20 minutes to get from Broadcast House here. Now, when we got here, we understand that a number of the commuters, they would have made their way home because the Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, has been making changes to how they deploy vehicles because of the new measures starting at 7 p.m. We spoke to Owen Smith, who's the Managing Director of Operations for the Jamaica Urban Transit Company earlier, about these new changes they've made.
For the last year and a half, the JLTC has experienced some serious challenges. However, in that period, we have put measures in place to mitigate the discomfort to our commuters. Some of the measures that we have put in place is that we have reduced the length of time that buses lay over at outer points to get the buses back in quicker. Right? We have also adjusted our maintenance protocols so that we can have more buses on the road right now. The key thing that we have done to help to ease the discomfort is that we have moved our peak up a little bit. So usually we will be sending buses out for the evening peak at 4 and 5 o'clock. What we have done, we have sent the buses out from 2 o'clock, 2:30, just to ensure that persons who are going home early or persons who want to beat the rush can have enough buses to take them home.
I know the last bus should leave at about 6, but are you putting in place measures where you may be able to deploy buses a little later based on the need?
Well, for the record, I want to tell the Jamaican public and the traveling public that we will not leave you on the road. We have put measures in place to ensure that persons who are coming out at 6 will have a bus to take them home.
Could you give us an idea of the percentage increase of buses that you may deploy on some routes to ensure that commuters can get out early enough?
Well, for the first day, there will not be a significant increase in the number of buses. For the first day, what we have done, we have made our peak hours a bit earlier. So instead of having the buses run out at 4 or at 3:30, we have pushed them out at 2 o'clock. So for the first day, we're going to be watching and see how it progresses as the week goes along. Now, the crowd behind me suggests that the curfew isn't quite happening. That's because there are still a number of commuters still trying to make their way home. The Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, deployed their last bus going to their farthest route above Rocks at about 6:07 p.m. But as it relates to the coasters, those going to Spanish Town, Red Hills Road, they're all making their way still. Persons, including vendors, are also still on the street here in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew. But it's the first day, so a lot of persons are still active, and we're going to keep monitoring this situation. But until then, it's back to you in studio.
Thank you so much, Javon.